Attention convention for pensions. The government agency insuring pensions, mainly for companies that have gone belly up and have some 41 million workers, running a record $62 billion deficit this year. Steve Moore smells a bailout. I suspect this kind of a bailout would be more favorably received if it were to come to pass, though, because it's so many private companies that have gone belly up, right?
Oh, I don't think people would be very happy about this. And by the way, Neil, I think most people are not aware that this federal agency called the Federal Pension Guarantee Corporation is guaranteeing the repayment of nearly $1 trillion of these pensions. And the news today is that a lot of these pension systems are running big deficits. Tens of billions of dollars of deficits. Guess who's gonna fill that hole? You and I and taxpayers are.
You know what's odd about it? If you think about when the PBGC, the Pension Benefit Guarantee Corporation, started, it was when all these companies were going bankrupt, steel concerns, old manufacturing concerns, and then along came this government agency that would at least protect the pension, sometimes pennies on the dollar, but something. Should the government even be deciding that, or should these people be told since and now, no, when your company goes, that goes too?
Well, we should have never gotten in the business of guaranteeing the repayment of these pensions in the first place. That actually rewards the bad behavior of a lot of these pension managers, and that's the reason they're in the fix they're in.
In other words, that they unload them on the government and resurrect themselves somewhere else.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah, of course. And here's the thing. I'll bet a lot of people don't understand this because we do the craziest budget system in America. But all of these liabilities, Neil, are on the federal books, but they don't show up in the budget anywhere. So, you know, when we calculate the deficit every year, these potentially tens, if not hundreds of billions of dollars of unfunded liabilities, they're nowhere to be found in the budget. I remember when Lee Iacocca, about 20 years ago, said that as chairman of Chrysler, if I did my budgeting the way the federal government does, they'd put me in jail. So these are all these kind of ticking time bombs in the federal budget that most people aren't aware of because they don't show up.
Yeah, and it was odd coming from Iacocca when his own company was rescued by the government. But you raise a good point. Do you think that this gets to the stage where, okay, we have a private government-run pension bailout corporation getting bailed out. We have a lot of kids' arrears in their college loans getting bailed out, and on we go, that this could get way out of control, to say nothing of federal workers and their plans that might get a bailout as well. This could get very steep very fast.
That was exactly my point, that we have literally trillions of dollars of these unfunded liabilities that do not show up in the budget. I'm talking about on top of our $18 trillion of national debt, Neil. So this is an addition to that. And you asked the question, will these be bailed out? Do you really think if it comes to this and you've got potentially hundreds of thousands of workers who don't get their pensions, that after bailing out the big banks, that Congress isn't going to run to the rescue? Absolutely they will, and taxpayers are going to be stuck picking up the check.
Interesting. Well, it's happened every time before, and no one has gotten to know as yet.
And by the way, that rewards the very bad behavior, because if all these pension systems know that there's a federal safety net, you know, catching them if they don't make the money, then it rewards the bad behavior. That's why these funds have been so underfunded for the last 25 years.
Interesting. All right, Steve, we'll watch closely. Thank you, my friend, Steve Moore.
I wish I had better news.
No, that's okay.
It's lousy.
Just one of those days. Meanwhile, I think if the grand jury doesn't indict Michael Brown's shooter, that ends it. Wait till Eric Holder picks up the torch and all but promises to reignite it.